The sound of armored trucks rumbling through the streets of Baghdad filled the air as bank employees stared in disbelief. Saddam Hussein, the son of Iraq's then-President Saddam Hussein, entered the Central Bank of Iraq early in the morning with a handwritten note. It wasn't an ordinary note. This was a direct order from Saddam himself, demanding the immediate withdrawal of $1 billion in cash. The employees, knowing what defiance might cost them, hurried to comply. Within hours, nearly $1 billion in US dollars was packed into metal boxes and loaded onto vehicles. The money vanished into the chaos of impending war. This was not an elaborate heist with mass burglars or secret tunnels. It was a state-led operation, and it became the largest bank robbery in history. Here is how it unfolded and why it continues to captivate the world. In early 2003, Iraq was on the brink of invasion. Tensions had escalated as the United States and its allies accused Saddam Hussein of possessing weapons of mass destruction. As international forces prepared to launch an attack, Saddam's grip on the country was beginning to weaken. He had ruled Iraq for over 2 decades, maintaining control through fear, violence, and propaganda. But even a dictator like Saddam understood that his regime's days might be numbered. One of Saddam's key concerns was securing the country's financial assets. While Iraq had vast oil reserves, much of its liquid wealth was stored in cash. Saddam feared that foreign forces or domestic enemies might seize these funds during the invasion. To prevent this, he devised a bold and desperate plan. The morning of March 18, 2003, started like any other for employees at the Central Bank of Iraq. But their routine was shattered when Saddam Hussein entered the building, surrounded by armed guards. Saddam was Saddam's second son and one of the most powerful figures in the regime. His presence alone was enough to create panic among the bank's staff. Saddam handed over a piece of paper. It was signed by Saddam Hussein and instructed the bank's officials to withdraw $920 million in US dollars, as well as additional smaller amounts in euros and other currencies. The note explained that this money was needed for emergency expenses and directed the employees to assist Saddam in transferring the funds immediately. For the bank employees, there was no option to refuse. Under Saddam's rule, disobedience was often met with imprisonment or execution. The staff followed Saddam's instructions, gathering the cash from the bank's reserves and loading it into trucks. Witnesses later described the scene as surreal, with millions of dollars being moved in a matter of hours. The scale of the operation was enormous. Bank employees had to work quickly, knowing that any delay could provoke anger or suspicion. The physical labor involved in moving such large amounts of cash was grueling. Some employees later recounted feeling a mix of fear and disbelief as they participated in one of the most audacious financial operations in history. The money was placed in metal boxes and carried out of the bank under the watchful eyes of Saddam's guards. Each box was filled with $100 bills, making the entire haul exceptionally heavy. It is estimated that the total weight of the cash was over 30 tons. The operation was carried out swiftly, with minimal resistance from anyone in the bank. Once the trucks were loaded, they drove away to an undisclosed location. The money disappeared into the network of Saddam's regime, which had countless secret bunkers and palaces throughout Iraq. Some reports suggest that part of the cash was transported to Saddam's personal vaults, while other portions were used to fund the regime's military efforts and maintain loyalty among key officials. The secrecy surrounding the operation was remarkable. Despite its scale, very few people knew where the money was being taken. Even within Saddam's inner circle, information was tightly controlled. This lack of transparency made it nearly impossible for outsiders to track the stolen funds or predict their ultimate destination. When US forces invaded Iraq just days later, they were unaware of the massive heist that had taken place. However, As troops advanced through Baghdad, they began uncovering large stashes of cash in unexpected places. One of the most significant discoveries occurred in one of Saddam's palaces, where soldiers found approximately $650 million hidden in walls and storage rooms. The money was neatly packed in bundles, many of which were still wrapped in their original bank straps. The discovery shocked the soldiers, who quickly realized they were dealing with part of the central bank's missing funds. The recovered money was later transported to a secure location by coalition forces. However, a significant portion of the stolen cash, over $300 million, was never found. The recovery of the $650 million raised numerous questions. How much of the stolen money had been spent? What was it used for? And most importantly, where was the rest of it? These questions remain unanswered to this day, adding to the mystery and intrigue surrounding the robbery. The fate of the missing $300 million remains a mystery to this day. Some speculate that it was smuggled out of Iraq by members of Saddam's inner circle. Others believe it was hidden in secret locations across the country and may still be buried in bunkers or remote areas. There are also rumors that some of the money was used to fund insurgent groups and militias that emerged after Saddam's fall. These groups played a significant role in the years of conflict and instability that followed the U.S. invasion. While no definitive evidence links the stolen funds to these activities, the timing and scale of the robbery make it a plausible theory. Another possibility is that the money was divided among Saddam's loyalists, many of whom fled Iraq during the war. These individuals could have taken the funds with them, using it to secure safe passage or establish lives in exile. The lack of reliable records and the chaos of the invasion made it easy for such transactions to go undetected. The Central Bank of Iraq robbery was possible because of the authoritarian nature of Saddam Hussein's regime. In a democratic system, such an operation would require approval from multiple institutions and oversight bodies. But in Iraq, Saddam's word was law. When he issued the handwritten note, no one dared to question it. The lack of checks and balances in Iraq's financial system also played a role. The central bank operated under direct government control, making it vulnerable to such abuses of power. Additionally, the chaos and uncertainty of the impending war created an environment in which extraordinary actions like this could go unchecked. The robbery also highlights the risks associated with concentrating too much power in the hands of a single individual or institution. When authority is absolute, it can be misused in ways that defy logic and ethics. This event serves as a reminder of the importance of transparency, accountability, and the rule of law in preventing such abuses. The Central Bank of Iraq robbery is a stark reminder of the risks posed by unchecked power and the absence of accountability. It highlights how authoritarian regimes can exploit national resources for personal gain, often at the expense of the country's citizens. This event also underscores the importance of robust financial systems and safeguards. Banks play a critical role in national economies, and their integrity must be protected to prevent similar incidents in the future. Transparent governance, independent oversight, and strong institutional frameworks are essential to ensuring that such abuses do not occur. For Iraq, the robbery marked yet another chapter in a long history of conflict and corruption. It exposed vulnerabilities in the country's institutions and underscored the need for reforms to rebuild trust and stability. While the full impact of the heist may never be known, it serves as a cautionary tale for nations around the world. The Central Bank of Iraq robbery remains the largest bank heist in history, not because of its complexity or ingenuity, but because it was carried out by a government against its own financial institution. The sheer scale of the operation and its connection to one of the world's most infamous dictators make it a unique and compelling story. While much of the stolen money was recovered, the mystery of the missing millions continues to capture imaginations. It serves as a powerful example of how power can be misused and how even the most secure institutions can be vulnerable in times of crisis. Today, the Central Bank of Iraq robbery is more than just a historical event. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of authoritarian rule and the importance of transparency and accountability in financial systems. As we reflect on this extraordinary heist, it's worth remembering the lessons it offers for building a more just and secure world. By examining events like this, we can better understand the importance of safeguarding institutions, promoting fairness, and ensuring that power is never abused.